Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome back to another Nikke Goddess of Victory video. So let's talk about the collection item. I'm sure you guys are aware by now, it's been about 2 weeks. Alright, so hopefully you guys have had plenty of time to collect some of the collection items, and I'll be able to showcase to you guys some of these things. Alright, so if you guys are not aware, you can basically access it in every single character in the top left section. Alright, so every character will have the ability to equip the collection item right here. Now, how do you obtain the collection item? If you guys are not aware already, you can basically farm them via dispatch. Alright, that's going to be the best way to basically farm these things. Solo raids does give a number, alright, so we do get some for solo raids, but dispatch is going to be your main source of income for these things, right? So as you can see, this particular box, this one is going to be the collection item mileage box. So make sure you guys are farming this every single day. So this is going to be something that's very important because it's going to boost your CP by a ton. Alright, alongside with the level up materials as well. We have the maintenance kit box, and you also have the elite maintenance kit. All of these are going to be needed to basically boost your characters further. Now, there are 4 characters that will have the ability to upgrade even further to SSR via the favorite item. So right now, it's going to be for Laplace, and then for Extra, Freema, and Diesel. Now, you can basically obtain all of these items right here in the dispatch. Now, there's a big bug with Laplace right now. So if you guys are working on Laplace, I highly suggest you guys to wait for a little bit because the bug is apparently quite apparent. So big shout out to this user right here. I can't even see his full name, sadly. G. This person did post warning Laplace favorite skill is bug. So what is the bug all about? As you can see, Laplace has this stack that is going to require her to stack the let's just show you guys the video. Every time Laplace charge up and hit the enemy, you can see this goes up to 5 stacks, right? And then you're supposed to do more damage if you have 5 stacks. But actually the bug is now reversing that into making less damage. So you can see with 5 stacks, it's doing about 8,600 here, right? And then once the stack goes away, now Laplace is suddenly doing 10,000. Alright, which is not how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to do more damage with the stacks. So apparently this was also written in a KR blog post as well. Some of them did notice it. So hopefully Shift Up is going to fix this particular issue. So with that, make sure you guys hold on to your Laplace favorite collection item or whatever. For the time being, it seems to make her doesn't perform as optimally as she should. Now, there's 2 very important mistakes that you can basically make with the collection item right now. And I've made one of these. So I figured making this video is gonna basically help you guys a little bit to prevent yourself from doing the same mistake as I did. Now you can view all the collection item you have in the inventory right here. You go to the most right tab. Alright, collection item, and this is going to be everything that I have currently, right? So I have something which are some spare right here. For example, this one is going to be for assault rifle. You know what? Let me just go and find one, and I'm going to show you guys how much CP boost you actually get, right? For equipping this. The amount of CP you get is actually pretty insane. Alright, you can see Dorothy, assault rifle, Scarlet, I would say these 2 are the priority, or Snow White if you use her a lot. So these are all the assault rifle characters in the game. So Scarlet getting that CP boost is going to be quite beneficial. So right now you can see my power is 115,634. Alright, pretty decent. So I'm going to give her a collection item so you guys can see it for yourself. For 115,000, this boost is going to go up to, let me just use this, boom. Alright, so now you can see I'm equipped that on my Scarlet. It goes up to 118,850. Now, obviously, it might not seem that much because my Scarlet is completely built with overload gears and everything, but for a new player, that boost is going to be significant, especially if you are trying to push story. Now, pushing story is going to be something that as a new player, you want to like try to push as far as you can. And if you guys are not aware, there is a CP deficit in the story, alright, where the lower your CP is compared to the enemy, the less damage you're going to do. So basically, CP, your combat power is going to be very important, your stats generally, right? So if you want to push the story, you want to push your CP as high as you can, which is why this is going to be very important. Now, collection item cannot be unequipped, which is why I think it's very important to think carefully who you want to put this on. Alright, so if you guys are not aware, once you put it, before you equip them, you can see, right? If I were to click, so now you can see I own 2 of these, I own 1 of these. So if I click here and I press use, it basically says right here, it gives you a warning. When you equip a collection item, it will belong to the Nikke permanently. Alright, that means once it's there, you can never unequip it. Which is why I did this mistake. I thought like I could unequip it and give it to my Laplace, but my Laplace, I don't have the rocket launcher one, and I wanted to give that. Right now, I put it on Scarlet Black Shadow, right? So my Scarlet Black Shadow has the rocket launcher one. Alright, basically once you're equipped, it's there forever. Now, one thing that you need to keep in mind is when you try to recycle them or combine them, right? You can basically combine a lot of these, like 4 of these, right? You can combine 4 of these into an SR. However, I don't recommend it early on, right? Because you don't get, it's not a selector. It's giving you a random between these items, alright? And obviously, most of you guys are missing like certain ones for certain character, alright? You're missing a sniper rifle one, or you're missing a rocket launcher one, and you're thinking you want to try to get that, and sadly this is going to be random, so it's not a selector. I wish they would make it a selector. I get it that eventually you're gonna get everything, but for now it is going to be definitely a problem for a lot of players, right? So for the time being, right now in the early stage of the game, unless you've been playing like maybe like 3 or 6 months down the line, that's going to be different once you have plenty of these. What you want to make sure first, because of how strong these are, how much CP this can improve your account overall, my suggestion is to just use the blue ones and just equip on the Nikkes that you use often. Alright, especially in PvE, if you're trying to push story, I'm going to give you guys a number of priorities later on. And for PvP as well, alright, you got to pay attention to that. Now, one more thing is going to be upgrading the R going into SR. So let's talk about that, because that's going to be a very important factor for you guys to decide as well. Now, if you guys are not aware, you can upgrade the collection items, for example, for every single character. Remember, each one needs the specific one. Alright, so if your character is an assault rifle, they need an assault rifle version of this. If your Nikke is a rocket launcher, they need a rocket launcher version of this. Now, each of these can be upgraded. As you can see, currently the skill, damage deal by attacking core increased by 5%. I can basically try to upgrade this by clicking on the maintain, and then I can use any of these items to increase my level. Now, if you use the blue ones, there's a lower chance of super success. Alright, super success meaning you can get more EXP. So right now you can see 200 EXP, right? So basically I will need 5 of these blue ones. But let me just consume one first and show you guys if there's a chance of super success or not. So you just, you know, rub the commander, and then let's see, is there super success? No. So that's just a normal one. It's really low. Okay, super success. So you can see I was able to increase my level, and it carries over some EXP as well, right? Some EXP will carry over right there. So now I'm level 2. Now once you max out the R version, now you can basically upgrade it to the SR version. And let me show you guys what do I mean by that, right? So on my Scarlet Black Shadow, as you can see, currently this R rocket launcher one, I've upgraded it all the way to phase 15. Alright, phase 15 onwards. As far as I know, the R goes up to phase 15, and then the SR will go up to phase 15 as well. Now, once you have completed up to phase 15, now you have the option to upgrade the R to SR. However, I thought that you can just upgrade it like that, but you need to own the SR one as well. Alright, you need to own the SR version of the, in this case, rocket launcher for my Scarlet Black Shadow. If you don't have that, it doesn't matter. You can still upgrade it to 15, but you're still stuck there. You need to be able to own the rocket launcher one, the purple one, later on. Now you might be wondering, okay, what's the point of me upgrading the R version then? If that's the case, right? So if you have a max R, this EXP that you have up to phase 15 will carry over to the SR one. So basically the EXP carry over. Yes, the R one, you don't get it back. It is a little bit of a waste right there, but at least the EXP will carry over, which is what you ideally want. And then once you go to the SR, there's another 15 phase right there that you can use to upgrade. So ideally you want to be using this particular elite maintenance, higher maintenance one for the SR. So hopefully that makes sense. But like I mentioned early on, try to give everyone an equal amount of R collection items first, so you can boost your CP a little bit more. This is going to matter both for PvE and also on PvP. In PvP, if the enemy has like way higher boost than you, you're gonna struggle trying to beat them. So obviously this is something that you want to do. Now let's talk about priorities. Who should you try to prioritize in giving all of this? So I'm going to go through every single category of characters right now in terms of the role. Now for assault rifle, I recommend Scarlet, alright, because you're gonna use her in PvP a lot. Obviously, she's gonna make a lot of sense. Now in PvE, she can still be used. Dorothy makes a lot of sense, alright? Assault rifle, she's going to be one of the top ones. Now Snow White, depending on whether you use her or not, obviously for any player that use her, yeah, she's going to be on the top as well. Now Privity, I use her almost all the time in Swimsuit Annie's team. Definitely if you are someone that use her a lot in solo raids, if you have spare, consider giving it to her, but you don't really have to upgrade hers as much, right? Since she's not like a damage dealer. Now that's going to be pretty much for assault rifle. Now as for SMG, mostly this one is going to be simpler because it's going to be just supports. As you can see, plenty of supporters right here. Now I highly recommend Lita. She's probably going to be the main character that benefits from this all together, right? Now volume, if you use her in the solo raids or union raids, alright, for the second team, third team, one of the better burst one out there, right? So she competes with a lot of other characters. She's probably the second best SMG character after Lita if you're looking for a burst 1 support. Now for, you know, Alice, if you have Bunny Alice, she's very strong support for shotgun team. Definitely consider her as an option as well. Now if you use D a lot, sure, she could be an option for some players out there, but she's not really meta and I don't think many players use her as much. So I feel like it's better more reserved for characters that you're gonna use permanently. Next up, we have the shotgun characters. Now this one is going to be extremely obvious. Swimsuit Annie's should be your top priority. I do think that she's someone that everybody uses a lot. Now Naga comes really close as well. I think Naga, Noah, Maid Privity, these are all very good options. And also, of course, Bunny, Soda, if you did obtain her, these are going to be a very good one. Shotgun, there's plenty of good characters that deserves it. But I do prioritize on Swimsuit Annie's. Probably Naga second, followed by Noir, because I use Naga more often than Noir, right? Because Naga being a burst 2 that complements the best PvE team available. And then of course Maid Privity and Bunny Soda is going to be of the lesser priority. Now next up, Sniper Rifle. Obviously this is going to make the most sense. Red Hood and Alice. This should be your top priority. Now as for everyone else, you probably are not going to need them as much. I would say Maxwell takes the third place, and then you can consider Freema or Exia depending on who you're trying to build, right? As far as I know, Exia is going to be pretty good. The best choice out of the, in terms of the treasure system, outside of Laplace, right? Because Laplace, like I mentioned, she's bugged, so that's something to keep in mind for the timing. I highly doubt Exia or Freema is going to be meta even after the system, but we'll see, right? For now, there's just I think we all need some time because this treasure thing definitely takes a while. Even for a whale, it's going to be a while before we can farm this out. Rocket Launcher. Now this one is going to be, again, pretty straightforward, but I do think Rocket Launcher is going to be a bit more complex because a lot of characters here are very strong in PvP. In terms of a character that you use the most often, for me, Scarlet Black Shadow by far, she takes the priority, number 1. Alright, Laplace is going to be number 2, that's why I can't unequip mine and give it to her. But definitely these two are someone that you use a lot. Now Jackal, pretty much she's the number 1 PvP meta character. Hopefully, you know, if you can give it to her, she's going to get that CP boost that will definitely give you an advantage, right? Followed by maybe Tia, depending on who you prioritize more, either PvE or PvP. I would say Jackal, Tia, Noah, Biscuit. These are all very good choices. Now last but not least, the machine gun. Of course, right here you can see Diesel is the one that obtained the most recent one. Alright, so she is the one with the update. I don't think hers is that impressive, at least for me. So definitely, I'll definitely work on hers later. But for now, if you don't have it on her already, Modernia is someone that I do recommend if she's someone that you use in campaign a lot. Modernia and Ludmilla, Winter Owner, these two should be a priority because they are damage dealers, right? Always prioritize damage dealers first, followed by Crown. Alright, I do think that she should be second in this case. And then you can consider Diesel or Guillotine later on if you have her build. So yeah, those are pretty much my priority in terms of the list. Hopefully, you know, with that being said, hopefully you guys are aware on who you want to like try to equip the treasure on first. Now, obviously, it could be different for you because you might have different characters, right? For me, I have all of these characters built. Some of you guys might be missing some of these characters, and that's fine, right? If that's the case, just work with who you have first. And make sure to equip this on someone that you use a lot in the story, because if you equip this on the character that you think you're going to use for now, for the time being, and then you're not going to use later, for example, like Crow, you cannot unequip the collection item. So Make sure you guys do not make that mistake. So with that being said, that is pretty much going to be it for this video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section below. As always, subscribe if you guys haven't already. Give this video a like. Hope you guys find this video helpful. Have a nice day. Goodbye.